Today I messed up by choking the chicken in an emergency. This happened around 7 years ago. One morning I had awoken to tent having being pitched under my sheets. Just like every other morning. And just like every other morning I had to handle it. I open up Pornhub on my shiny new Galaxy S4 I had recently been given for my birthday. I gave the chicken a good choking and spilled my baby batter all over my chest. Yada. 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 A few minutes later I get text from my sister to the effect of what the hell. Then I get a call from my mom. She's livid. She's screaming at me asking me what is wrong with you? Why did you send me that? She hangs up before I can ask what she's talking about. Then I get a call from my dad with him yelling the same thing. I tell him mom had yelled at me too, but I don't know what she or he is talking about. He says I sent a help message with a picture of myself in bed with my schlong and ejaculate in view. That was when I realized what had happened. I had turned on a setting on the S4 which sends an emergency message to my in case of emergency contacts if you press the power button 3 times. When it's activated, it sends a message, a picture and an audio recording. Yeah, there was even audio. I had apparently squeezed the S4's power button a few times as I was getting close to finishing. Too long. Didn't read. I accidentally sent my family a picture and audio of myself mid-orgasm. Today I messed up by misunderstanding my drug dealer's lingo. Sorry to be cliché, but this, predictably, did not occur today, but years ago. So, I was a heavy skunk, very strong cannabis smoker at the time, and my dealer used to text deals of the day or whatever, with these absolutely absurd names that got more and more ridiculous as he and his brother began growing more and more potent strains. One day I was sitting at home, had just run out of smoke and was about to text him to see if he was about when I got a group text from him saying got great turtle here, 20 pounds, anyone interested? I was, to give me a little credence here, pretty stoned and used to him naming his gross stupid things, so assumed this was weed. I replied going yeah, coming down. I get down to where I meet him, this was a train right away, about a half-hour journey, he had good stuff so was happy to make the trip, and text him I'm there. I have my ex with me as well, for later context, as he was bored and fancied keeping me company. My guy replies to my I'm here text and tells me to come to his house, giving me the address. I'm rather chuffed as I think this is a massive demonstration of trust, and so I merrily pop down the road to his gaff. My ex stays at the tram stop. I get to his house, knock, he opens the door and a huge cloud of skunk smoke comes out, party in the background. He asks me if I'm here for the turtle, I say yeah, he grabs a Tupperware container and hands it to me after I give him the 20. I open the container, confused, and see a yellow-bellied terrapin. I look up and say to him, this isn't a turtle, this is a terrapin. He asks me if I want it or not. I look down at the terrapin and just kinda think to myself how messed up it is that this little guy is being sold like this and how inappropriate this housing choice is, so. Yeah, I'll take him. Do you have any smoke? Business concluded, I go back to my ex at the tram stop with my smoke and this fucking yellow-bellied terrapin. He asks what's in the tub, I show him, he tells me that isn't a turtle, it's a terrapin. I concur. We go and buy a tank and equipment while frantically Googling how to care for a bloody terrapin. We called her Shelley and she led a happy life until she passed naturally a year or so later. I have no idea how long terrapins live or how old she, or even if she was a she, was, but she seemed happy. And that is the story of how I took my dealer figuratively and ended up adopting a terrapin by accident. This blew up. The first comment is amusingly basically a written version of the hours of debate about turtle/terrapin I have with people most times this story comes up. Out of confusion at seeing Shelley, I was being OTT pedantic about the specifics of the matter. The reason it's reiterated so many times is that it slayed me when my ex had the same stupid reaction. Also, just to put minds at ease, quality of care of Shelley, my cousin has worked with reptiles and the like for decades. And she was the first person I called to get advice on caring for her, went into a couple of vet/specialized animal care shops, not those hooky high street but shops, etc. to make sure she was being looked after properly. Her tank was properly maintained and kitted out and she was cared for appropriately with huge advice and help from the aforementioned folk as well as frantically Googling as and when. I'm guessing that how Shelley had been treated and cared for before had a significant impact, but please be reassured I didn't put her in like a fish bowl with saline or something as one rather demented DM suggested. Hope everyone has a lovely day. X too long. Didn't read. I thought my dealer was making up fancy words for his wares and ended up with a terrapin child.